Hey guys, welcome back to the Ignite SAT Mastery course. Today we'll be covering Lesson 8 of Module 3, Placing the Sentence Questions. Now, just as a quick refresher, what are these placing the sentence questions? Now, these questions are as obvious as it gets. It's going to talk about a specific sentence and to make a paragraph most logical, where it should be placed. As we see, we're given 4 options, and these options can range from after sentences, before sentences, and as we see here, keeping the sentence in the same location. Now, let's try answering one of these questions. This question, question 22, is asking to make this paragraph most logical. Sentence 4 should be placed where? Now, the first thing we want to do is read that sentence and pick up any key details we can find. Box is currently organizing an expedition to gather this crucial information. So we have 2 parts, a current expedition and gathering crucial information. Now, the way we want to tackle these questions is to look for the context of these words. Where do we find something about crucial information? Let's start from the beginning. Box's research is important because the fires of 2012 may not be a one-time phenomenon. According to scientists, rising Arctic temperatures are making northern latitudes greener and thus more fire-prone. The pattern Box observed in 2012 may repeat itself again with harmful effects on the Arctic ecosystem. So up to that point, there's nothing about crucial information or an expedition at play. So let's keep going. The next step for Box and his team is to travel to Greenland to perform direct sampling of the ice in order to determine just how much soot is contributing to the melting of the ice sheet. Now, this is a key sentence. It talks about that crucial information that was mentioned in sentence 4, which is a great predecessor to question sentence 4. Now, let's look at sentence 6. Members of the public will be able to track this team's progress and even help fund the expedition through a website Box has created. Now, this kind of talks about, an expedition or progress going on in some sort of expedition. So if we really hit the nail with the hammer, we can see that sentence 5 is a perfect sentence for this kind of, transition. After sentence 5 is the correct answer for this question. Now, how about you guys try answering one of these placing the sentence questions? All right. Now that you guys have tried answering this question, let's look at this. To make this paragraph most logical, sentence 5 should be placed, and we have our options. So again, let's look at sentence 5. If it is improperly introduced into the environment, acid way runoff can pollute waterways, depleting the oxygen content of streams and rivers as it decomposes. So let's try to, look for anywhere it talks about improper introductions into the environment and acid way runoff. So really, it's mentioned back in sentence 2. Because it requires up to 4 times more milk to make than the conventional yogurt does, Greek yogurt produces larger amounts of acid way, which is difficult to dispose of. And then we go on to address this problem of disposal. Farmers have found a number of uses for acid way. Now, this is weird. There's a jump from a difficult to dispose of without kind of an example to addressing this problem. So we can place sentence 5 directly after sentence 2 to make this the most logical transition. All right, now that we've answered some questions, let's look at some of these tips. Now, the first thing we want to do is isolate the sentence by itself. Read it, look at the context of the sentence, and see what predecessors and what sentence that come after are going to make the most sense when placing this sentence. Again, next is the context. We need to know what the sentence is talking about. We need to know what is going on generally in the passage, and we need to know the relation of certain events. Next are indications in other sentences. As we've seen with our first example that there were some key indications of, crucial information from that direct sampling, and that gave us a really big indicator of where to place the sentence. And finally, we're going to place that sentence, and if we read it one time to ourselves in our head, the sentence should make perfect sense. Remember, this is a surefire way of getting the correct answer, given that you follow these steps. Next time, we're going to be looking at some of the Module 3 practice, and you're going to have a good gauge of how well you understood this module.